We got a good one to talk about today, my friends. The idea of moving your stop to where your take profit is. It's crazy, right? The idea of moving your stop loss to where your take profit is. I'm going to show you guys a live trade, and we're going to talk about this idea, something that I really want to implement. I'm going to start trying to move my stop up with the price action, and then instead of just putting my target at a level, getting filled, and then watching the market go another 20, 30 points, I want to make sure that I move my stop up. I then get stopped out for a profit instead of just locking in profit at a level and then watching the market go another 20, 30 points. I want to maximize my profits. So I'm going to show you guys a trade, and we're going to talk about this right here in this video, maximizing your profits by using your stop loss as your take profit. Let's go. All right, we got a pretty simple setup here on the 1 minute chart. We got our line, our little channel right here. So basically, we're looking to break out over the 42s, looking to get long over 42 above the high of this little channel right there. So we get above that high there, and we look to get long. You can see it as well here on this is the 1 minute chart, 250. Let's go to the 250 tick chart here. Looks like it might want to do it sooner than later. So just watching here, 250 tick chart now. We're starting to push up. We're waiting for that break back over the 42s here, and then we look to get long. So pretty simple setup. We got the breakout. We broke out of this downward trend. We pushed up here to this little previous area of resistance. We pulled back naturally, and we're still looking good. So we are pushing up right there. I'm going to jump in. We're going to go, and same idea as always. I was a little early there, but I think we should break it. Basically risking off the lows of these candles. So we know that there's support down here. So we can enter for this breakout now to get through that 42 level. And then I'd be looking for a retest of this previous area, 52. And then after 52, we can kind of see where we go from there. So looking to get this breakout here. We don't want to lose this area now. We want this to kind of show strength and push up. So watching it right here. Need to get through this 42 area quickly. Through 42s quickly here. There we go. And my goal would be to basically move my stop to break even here very soon. I'm going to give it a little bit of room. Kind of break through that 50 area. Then we move stop to break even. And then once we move stop to break even, we can look for that push up into the 50s here. All right, so I'm moving my stop right there to the 43s. We guarantee that we lock in profit. We can't lose. And this is that push up there to the 50s now. Looking really good. I like to see this push up 55s or higher. We got liquidity at the 55s. If we can get through the 55s here, we should be able to push up towards the 60s next. There we go. 53s, 55s there. So we're looking for, just take some. I'll take some here. There's a bunch of liquidity at the 55s. So let's see what happens here at 55s. And I can maybe move my stop up some more. Get through that 55 level. Once we move through 55s, I'll move my stop to 55s on the dot, and it'll just be perfect little overall. It's pretty much where I'm looking to take profit, but this might have some more room to push up there to the 60s. So let's give it a little bit more room here. I want to see one more squeeze up here. I might move my stop right below the 50s here, so we guarantee that we lock in a minimum of $2,500. If this momentum can keep going, we're just riding the momentum now. It's pretty much a free trade at this point. Everything after this is free profit. Easy profit. So if we get stopped out, it's totally fine. We're just looking to get that free money. Free money, baby. Get through the 55s here and then move our stop right there to the 55s next when we break out here at this level. There we go. We're moving. Trying to get through 55s. I'm going to move my stop right there, 54s now. So we guarantee $4,000 in profit. I'm moving it to 55s. I'm moving it to 56s there. That was our original kind of target. My stop is there at the 56s, but we might get more room to run up here into the 60s next. Let's see if we can push through the 60s here. I might move my stop up again. We get through 60s quickly, and that way we lock in there at the 60s or possibly stopped here. Let's give it a second. I want to see this just squeeze right into the 60s now. Trying to manage this, make sure we lock in profit. We're going to lock in at least $4,000 in profit here. There we go. So we locked in. That was our original target there at the 56s. We just basically moved our stop there as this momentum was pushing up. We got the breakout there. This thing still could go higher, but the nice thing about it is we gave ourselves, you know, we just locked in those profits. We don't want this thing to kind of pull back and chop some more. So we want to guarantee that we lock in those profits. So very simple strategy here, guys. We had the VWAP touch, right? VWAP down here at the 780s. We're kind of do. We look at that. Momentum really came in there. I did miss out on this. I was editing a video. I came back over. I saw that bounce on the VWAP, and I was like, all right, that's telling me that momentum is shifting. You know, we had this downtrend. The bears basically got squeezed out there. All the retail traders that were trying to short down here in the 800 level, they got shorted, squeezed out there, and then the bulls started coming back in. So that was overall, I think, a really good technical kind of trade here, jumping in at the 41 for that 42 break, and then taking profit up there at the 56s. And you can see now it did pull back. So the nice thing is, if this thing kept trending, if it kept going higher and higher, like if you look at that move earlier, like look at this move off the VWAP. So if we would have traded this and basically just moved our stop to where our target was, move our stop to where our target was, kept moving our stop up as we kind of put in these higher lows, well, look at how nicely we could have rode this momentum from the 81s all the way up there to the 850s. So, you know, that's about a 70-point move where we're basically just moving, you know, we're just basically putting our stop every time we put in a higher low. Okay, we put our stop right there. We would have our stop right here, right? So we'd have our stop at the 810s. Pretty much, if we're, let's say we're getting this breakout over the 93s right here. So we got in long, like right here off the 93s. We would basically just keep moving our stop, following the price. And then, you know, at this point, I'd probably have my stop like right here. And this level, we put in this higher low. I would then move my stop to that higher low right there. We would then squeeze up here. Same idea, kind of wait for that next higher low. We're going to move our stop up to that higher low. And then we move up higher. We're just letting this thing ride, right? We're giving it room to ride these higher lows. Because remember, like if we got in long at the 90s right here, we're long from the 90s, and this thing pushes up there to the 810s, like that would ideally kind of be my target in the first place. So it's like, I want to be able to at least let it run a little bit more, give it more room to run. And as we're pushing, we can just basically keep moving our stop up to, you know, the higher low, and then your higher low. I mean, even like right there on that higher low, you still would be in it, and you probably would have gotten stopped out over here at the 40s, and then up there to the 50s. So I guess, you know, at that point, you maybe put your stop right here. So you would have basically gotten stopped out there at the 840s, where on this move here, if you're long for the 95s, there, and your original target's 810 area, you move your stop, you would then get 30 more points. So this is something that I talked about on Friday, really trying to maximize my setups, you know, making sure that I'm milking as much profit out of these setups as possible, because, you know, there's going to be those days where you're going to get those choppy action, but you want to make sure that when you do get that really good setup, we do capitalize off of those setups, and we make sure that we are, you know, locking in those profits. You can actually see now we pulled back here to kind of that 42 level, and now starting to push up here on the 1 minute chart. We had a high there at the 61s. I think there still could be a little bit more room to run here, but totally fine with that. We had that kind of channel breakout. We broke out. All we had to do was kind of wait. Get the breakout. You got the move up there to the 60s, but really trying to maximize these setups, especially like that one, you know, off of that VWAP, off that bounce. And I mean, there was multiple times this morning where we had breakouts where, you know, we could just basically trail it, and keep kind of moving our stop up as the price action moves higher, and we can make sure that we're maximizing our profits. So, you know, this morning, perfect example, we had this breakout right here. Like, look at this thing. You look at the 250 tick chart on this thing, it's just absolutely crazy looking. So on this move, all right, we talked about this 40 level. We're looking for that 40 level to break. So, you know, let's say, okay, we're getting 40 level to break right here. Boom. What are we looking? We're looking to get long there over 40. Look at this. So, like, let's say my target's up here, the 50s. Okay, we squeeze to the 50s. I move my stop to 52. Now we squeeze up there to the 70s. Okay, I move my stop up here to the 70s. And we keep squeezing. We move to the 75s. I can basically just keep following these candles higher, to a point where I get stopped out at the top instead of me taking profit too early, right? Like that would be the big problem for me. Right now, that's the big problem for me. Just not maximizing. So I got long here. I think it was 49. I took profit up here to the push of the 60s, and look at how much more room there was. Now, obviously, we're not always going to maximize, get the top and the bottom perfectly, but at least with this kind of idea of making sure that I'm locking in those profits, it's number one, I'm going from, the possibility of having a losing trade to then break even. And then now, instead of coming back to zero, stopping me out, I can at least guarantee 2,000. And then just keep moving, and getting these breakouts. And when the momentum is there, when there's strength, we really should get some amazing follow through and be able to get some really kind of bigger moves in the market when we kind of let them set up. So right now you can see we took profit there at the 56s, and yeah, I felt pretty good about it. Now, would it have been better to take profit at the 60s? Yeah. Our target really was kind of that 55, 56 level. We broke out there. So instead of me just putting my target right there getting filled at 56, at least like if this wanted to go, let's say it went 68s or 70s, I would get a potential of another 10 points there on that move where I'm not really risking anymore, right? Because I basically move my stop to that 55 level right where my stop was, or my target, and then the market is then pushing higher. So if it does go another 20, 30 points, well, guess what? I'm getting paid 20, 30 points more instead of just, only locking in profit at the 55s. And I do that a lot of times. Like I'll put my target right there at 55s, and then it goes from 55s to 80s. So if I really kind of ride the momentum, be a little bit more, focused on it and making sure that I'm locking in as much potential profit, it's really going to help me in the long run, especially like those days where I have like those, especially those days where I'm up like $7,000, $8,000 and the market pulls back to basically stop me out, break even. Like that should never happen. So, these are all just points of me, learning and adjusting and evolving as a trader, and just remembering that, like, hey, nothing wrong with locking in profit as we go, especially if we have a target. Put your stop right there where your target's at. The target gets hit. Boom. All right, awesome. Like it's going higher. Cool. Keep raising your stop. Keep raising your stop. Keep raising your stop. And you're going to be able to milk another 10 points, another 5 points, another 20 points out of these moves. When the market's hot, why not capitalize off of the momentum and the opportunity, right? Like, why not capitalize off that? So if you guys haven't already hit that like button, subscribe button, you know what to do. We're moving our stops up. We're moving our stops to basically break even. And then at that point, it's like we're moving up again, moving up again, moving up again, just following those higher lows, higher lows. On the 250 tick chart, you're going to really be able to see those, quick movements. And when the market's hot, you're going to really be able to capitalize off getting another 5, 10, 20 points on a move where you're already in the trade. Like you're literally in the trade. Why not make sure you're capitalizing off the trade, right? Like why not make sure that you're going to capitalize off of the opportunity, the setup? If that setup is good and you have a really good overall risk reward, everything is lined up, like why not make sure you're capitalizing off the opportunity? So there it is. If you guys haven't hit that like button, subscribe button, I'll talk to you guys later on.